Welcome to a tutorial on learning JavaScript ES6. In this video, I'm going to talk about template literals. A tough thing to say. So, template literals are a new way of creating strings within JavaScript. They are a special way that deals with interpolation, or taking a variable's value and replacing it within a string statement to create a new string during runtime. That sounds a little complex. It really isn't, and in fact is common within a lot of other programming languages, but was introduced to JavaScript as part of ES6. So let's look at an example. The first of which here, notice on lines 2 and lines 3, I have a let. We're creating a new variable, and it's going to be mutable, something we could change. I have new name equals the string Steve, and new age equals the number 43. Then on line 5 is where things get a little bit different. I'm using let again, and phrase is equal to, and what looks like a normal string, sort of, but is now using backticks. These are not single quotes, these are backticks, a special type of punctuation mark. So when we use template literals, we want to make sure we are enclosing them in that. The other thing you may have noticed is going on is that we're including variable names within the string right here. Notice these match and these match. Well, we're doing that because when we run this, those variables' values will be swapped into it. And so the new string will become whatever it is plus the values of those variables. And to get those, we enclose them in open and closing curly brackets, as well as the $sign. So we're saying, hey, in runtime, take the value of this variable and replace it right here. And down here, we're saying take the value of this variable and replace it right here. So the two syntax we need to make sure we're using within template literals are backticks enclose this, and within this, if we want the value of the variable, we use open and closing curly brackets and the $sign in front of it. And again, that switches the variable for its value. So let's run this, and you'll see it produce the string, which it produced right here. So during runtime, these variables were swapped for their values, and then the new string phrase right here was outputted. So what are these used for? Well, these are used for the very common situation in previous versions of JavaScript where you need to concatenate, that is, add together very long strings, or strings that contained variables and other things, and we were dynamically creating content. It could get very messy very quickly. And so template literals help us with that by allowing us to swap in the variable for their value during runtime. So we can create new strings, use this format, and not have to worry about adding things together and concatenating other strings, and very quickly build complex string values using this method. And in fact, is very common within other frameworks that use this to deal with HTML, for example, in web development. And other frameworks like that, where we need to swap a variable for its value and then add it all together and then do something with that output. So template literals are incredibly helpful in this way and are functionality that's available as part of ES6 within JavaScript. Thanks for watching.